Stay up to date with all that's happening with the new national party, NNP. Send us a message via text or WhatsApp on 405-8683 with your name, email, and constituency. Stay in the know with NNP. Get updated.
Why are contracts being channeled through the parliamentary office? We're seeing a flyer circulating on Facebook calling for trying to contract the services needed, I think, for the Willis basketball courts. It says it's contracting the services needed for the Willis basketball courts. You can contact the telephone number for more information. Circulating on Facebook.
Well, I think you see the perplexed look on each of our faces. I am not aware of that. I suspect none of my colleagues here are aware of that. So I think you may have to give us greater context for us to understand. As far as I'm aware, there is no procuring of contract services through parliamentary offices. There are employees who work in the parliamentary office on behalf of the parliamentarian. They don't have any resources to procure any services. Any procurement is done by the ministries. I can certainly say in the case of St. David's, what I do is if there are services that a ministry needs, and if vacancies are being announced, etc., we certainly get the notices. We let our constituents be aware of it. We post it on our pages. We put physical notices on our notice boards. We certainly encourage our constituents to apply. But these applications are targeted to the particular ministry or the particular procurement agency. So I'm not aware genuinely of any case where parliamentary offices are procuring any services. They don't have a budget to do so. And therefore, unless you said it's on Facebook. So
yes, I have it. I have it here.
But being on Facebook doesn't mean it's accurate. I was hesitant to say so. I thought I was self-evident by now. But so I'm not aware of it. The MP for St. George North East is not here, but I certainly will inquire of him, and if some response or explanation needs to be provided, I'll ask him to communicate with you.
My government has decided to continue the vertical
yellow, house gets yellow, bus gets yellow, man gets yellow, even green gets yellow, and so says 11-4. When you trick us with campaign promises, we won't stay your tease, that's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain, you know what you have, but you don't know what you go get. So cherish what you have to diminish regret. But what on earth lasts forever? Not even things created by the great Jehovah. So the green grass ceased to grow to allow the yellow vibes to flow. But boy, one song I sing, one bell I ring. If we didn't know, if we didn't know.
And a good night to you, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. Once again, it is time for Talking Points. My name's Sheldon Scott. I'll be with you until 10 o'clock.
That's the way.
It's now 7 minutes after the hour of 8 o'clock on the Spice Isle of Grenada.
But you now refrain.
Inclusive of the beautiful islands of Carriacou and Petite Martinique.
Giving NNP more fame. Past administration, the cause of frustration. Past administration, chief of corruption. Then to economic recession, we can't give you attention. Economic recession, the cause of poverty in the land. Economic recession, no employment for the ordinary man. When you trick us with campaign promises, we won't stay at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain. All your projects are stuck in a pipeline. But when asked, how is the country going? Oh, fine. We are looking into it. Never mind. Only projects in pipeline. No water to cool down the yellow temperature. When will they start? Please answer that. Oh, soon. Maybe by the next full moon. Although things are turning at a very slow pace, we now run no race. 5 years is a lot of space. It's just a few hungry people in a place and a few disgruntled green people with their vexed face. When you trick us with campaign promises, we won't stay at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain. Busy governing, busy managing, busy politicking, busy neglecting, busy inflicting poverty and hunger throughout Grenada. 1,000 Frenchmen can never be wrong, but you hold your yellow conviction strong. So why not send them advisors home? They're sucking money like water in foam. And rehire.
And let me start my good night to you, Antonito. All right, Donna, Dwight, Shemi, Gil, Keisha, Curtis, hey, Cousin Duncan, nice, right? Maria, Henisha, Brave Boy, Augustine, Doc, good night to you. Linda, Imelda, Francois. All you know, I just can't say part of the name, I just had to say the whole thing. Roxy Vento, Denise, Alexander, Charlene, Louis, Bev, good night to you. Let me see here. Agatha, Norma, Shemaine, Janine, Lisa, Cindy, Ibrahim, Danraj. Yeah, they said Danraj in the cell. Danraj and doing well. You know that song. Olive, Agnes, good night to all of you. Seeing you all over there on the Facebook. Let me see who is on the YouTube. Kathleen, Deborah, Sherma, Devis, Errol, Devon, Beavis, Hillary, Londa, Cousin Koi, good night to you. Wilma, Samantha, let me go down the road here. Let me see who else is on. Christine, Trajan, Margaret, Lishra, Clive, hey, Gertrude, good night to you. Matthew Boyne, early as usual. Kathleen Knights and Sherma, Faithlin, good night to all of you folks. Remember to like and share the live, all right? Nice.
Brand new car on the scene while our hungry bellies still.
It's our final program for the week. Some of them wish it was our final program ever, you know.
Hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain. So yellow people say, next election, not me stain that finger. Cause after we say enough from Jonah, here comes still with more pressure and hunger. And from the mouth of Grenada, only one thing I utter, the Congress neglect us.
You know what, tonight, let me take that song from the top, man. Yeah, let's take that song from the top.
This is not politics. Please don't forget, I'm just practicing to be a poet. Not qualified as yet, but have no fear, I'm gonna get there. I'm not in this world to live up to your expectation. Neither are you in to live up to mine. I don't owe no one, no obligation. No one owes me none, so everything is fine, fine.
And folks, tonight we're leaving the phone lines open from the beginning, so you could call at any time 440-7377. You can call us either directly or you can call us on WhatsApp using that number. And the overseas line 347-329-3101. You can also call us on that line. Let me say a special good night to my St. Lucia family. Yeah, flambeau.
Serious business. There is a time for
Special good night to my flambeau family out there in St. Lucia.
so man and man must reason.
Especially my Groselet people, yeah.
So I think it's prime time that we address some more issues. Simple information I will use. No rocket science to get you confused. So relax your mind, make sure everything is fine while I take you down a poetic line. Trick us with campaign promises. We won't stay at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain. You now refrain. I remember you say Liberation Day, and I ask, you sure is that you want to say?
Well, folks, I think we could start it up now in a year. I think the number crossed the number. Let's look to see it cross before we start the program. Nice, yeah. First things first. Sources have indicated to me, and usually my sources are quite very, very, very correct when they send information to me. Public workers, all they get paid yet? You know, if Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell was in charge, all now so, all it done get paid already, especially considering that the last time you got paid was the 15th of December. Yeah, wrong day, sir? Right. Have you been paid yet? Because you know last year, Dr. Mitchell made sure was by the 24th, 25th, your money was in your account already. Have you all been paid yet? Because I'm seeing the scrambling attempts. There seems to be some sort of chaos going on at the Ministry of Finance. They're going to deny it. They're going to say no. But there's a scramble right now in order to pay public workers. Check your accounts. Have you been paid yet? I could guarantee you that the payroll ain't even sent to the banks and the credit unions yet. Yeah? That's the situation that you find yourself back in again. This kind of late payment thing again. Well, they're going to say it's not late payment. They will say today is just the 26th. But you know, under NNP government, especially in January, by now, your money already looking at you in your account. But from what I'm hearing, there's a scramble right now. You know, they're going to find the money somehow and they're going to pay. But what I'm saying here is that you know that right now, you all have not been paid yet. And it doesn't seem likely that many of you would receive your salaries tomorrow, because even if they send it in the morning, there are some financial institutions that take a little while before they process. So you know that's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, according to what? And that's if payroll goes off in the morning. What they wondering how I know that? Don't worry, somebody drop an envelope in front of my door. Yeah, that's how I know that. So, you saw the attempts by the government yesterday in the scramble to find money, that they had to float that treasury bill on the regional securities market. They had to float that bill. They got $15 million off of that, right? That they're going to put towards trying to pay the salaries. Yeah, including their increased salary. Yeah? They ain't saying, well, we ain't enough money and thing, let's revert to what the former administration was paying. They ain't saying that. Instead of that, they floated that treasury bill on the regional security exchange. Yeah, they floated that, trying to raise more money to be able to pay the salaries, and not just salaries. Remember, they had to pay pensions, then salaries. So you had to pay pensions, then salaries. So the pensioners' money had to go in their account first. So I don't know if they used the 15 million from yesterday and they've paid the pensioners, but public workers, message me, tell me that I'm wrong, because I know many of you are public workers there. You might want to say it in the chat, but say it in the inbox. Have you received your salary yet? That's the situation you go and you put yourself back in again, that you had to be waiting and wondering. And here's the thing. Here's the difference here. It's people and people. With Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell and the new National Party team, if If perchance a situation had come up where you found a situation where there was not enough money to be able to pay salaries coming up, not at the end of the month, because they make sure and by the 15th they don't organize what they had to organize and they sort out what they had to sort out. But if they found themselves in a situation like that, there is no way the Prime Minister and Minister of Finance would have found themselves out fishing while they don't know how they pay in public workers. That's the difference between the Mitchells. Dr. Keith Mitchell would have been in office since after 5 this morning. And he would have been having meetings and making calls and doing what has to be done to ensure that public workers who already work for it get the money that they've worked for. In the instance of this Prime Minister that you have now, this Mitchell, while they're running around like headless chicken, chaos, trying to find money to pay public workers. They're going to pay. But is the idea behind it that the present Prime Minister thinks it's okay, the present Minister of Finance, not to be in the office and making sure that the funds are placed on the accounts for all of you? Because we all know, you have to go and pay courts before they come back and take the fridge. Yeah, entered. You have to pay courts, and you have to pay them by a certain time. So your money need to be in your account by a certain time to go to them. You have to pay courts. You have to pay the banks. You have to pay the credit unions. You have to pay the different short-term loan institutions like the Fast Cash and the what's the name of the other one? Excel Finance and those Axel Finance and so. So we know that by a particular time, your money needs to be in your account to be able to pay these people. And if it's not in your account by that particular time to pay these people, you start to accumulate interest for every day that you're late. Even if it's 1 day, 2 days, whatever, you start to accumulate interest on that, the penalties on that. So while the other Mitchell, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, would have been in office for the day-to-day, and you would have known that Honorable Gregory Bowen would have been there, people like Honorable Oliver Joseph would have been there, they would have been making sure that there was enough money in the account to pay you all. Instead of doing that, this Minister of Finance that you have now and Prime Minister thought that it was more important to go and fish. Yeah, so he went out to the Billfish tournament thing today. They went out and fish. So he out in the middle of the ocean with rod. And your salary, that ought to have been, come on, man. Tomorrow is the 27th. Teachers, is that acceptable? Yeah? Police officers, is that acceptable? Nurses, is that acceptable? So he out in the water pelting pole. Meanwhile, when he should have been on mainland, on the land, making sure that what has to be done is done to ensure that you are paid. That's the kind of individual, that's the kind of mentality that's there. It's okay, man. Go out and have a good time. Drink beers and fish. Don't worry, man. Them workers go get paid somehow. No, you're in charge. You're the Minister of Finance. You're the Prime Minister. You're the Minister of Finance. You're responsible for ensuring that the pensions, because you promised to pay the pensions. But that is not just the one-off, the retroactive. Remember, these 500 or so people that are added on have to be paid on a monthly basis now. And on top of them, you also have to pay the public workers who have worked. I think we have a caller online. Let's go to the phone line. Oh, wrong one. Let's go to the phone line. Good night. Hello.
Hey.
Hey, good night. How are you?
Not bad. How are you doing?
Me, I always good, you know. I always good. The pelting rod out in the water. Meanwhile, public workers ain't getting money yet, you know, brother. I mean, it's the 26th. They could say, well, yeah, we don't have to pay until the 30th, the 31st. But we know by the 27th of the month, the NNP used to make sure that your salary there.
No. Hold on. In January, the NNP would ensure that at least by the 25th of the month, people get paid. Now, you see, a lot of people don't understand up to this day the thinking of the NNP. The NNP was a party, a government that was in touch with the reality of the Grenadian society. So when you get paid in the middle of December to get ready for your Christmas shopping, naturally, we know that by the 15th of January, you're in trouble financially. So NNP would ensure that you get paid by at least the 25th, which would balance off in February, since February is a short month.
Mm-hmm.
But more than that, because of the intuition of the NNP, you didn't have much of a struggle in January because the people who needed it the most were given the demotion. And the economy continued to, for the lack of a better word, percolate. Because money is the lifeblood of the economy. Let's talk about money. The Prime Minister has said, the current Prime Minister, that Grenadians deserve a lot of money. He has said it, and I have him on record as saying it. My question tonight is, who are the Grenadians was he referring to? You see, in Animal Farm, and I wish Grenadians would read that story, by George Orwell. The slogan was, all pigs are equal. And then later on he said, all pigs are equal, but some pigs are more equal than others. And it appears to be the same case in Grenada currently with the NDC, in that there are a lot of square pegs back in round holes.
And before you go, any further, I met somebody in St. Andrew. They say when Alan Campbell on, make sure that people know it's Alan Campbell that called there. Go forth, my brother.
Now, there are so-called consultants tripping over each other in the various ministries. There is, I heard, and I'm saying what I heard, the people who usually get a pension today was told they had no money to pay them today in Grenville. That's right.
So after you take 150 from the seed people, you still come back, and the people who had to get a pension, they can't pay pension today.
Right, hold on. We're not even going to jump on the lady from St. Andrews Northeast or Northwest. Not yet. Our time is coming. We have a situation here now where the politicians, the so-called ministers, I call them so-called, are more interested in photo opportunities. Whether it's on land or on sea. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah, well, I don't. Maybe they could become fishers of men. I don't know what's taking place out there. Yeah? I see us at a pole. I see drinks passing. I don't know. I don't know what's taking place out there.
Hold on. Fishers of men. Men being the operative word here. So we continue. So what we have is a situation where Grenada is quickly becoming, I wonder who they're going to blame, because I heard Lennox Andrews say that Timothy Antoine was sabotaging Nazim Buck. Now he's a minister. I wonder who they're going to blame for the sabotage this time, when they do not pay workers. Now, it's not a question of if they will not pay. They're going to pay. But when are they going to pay? And what is the story they're going to give for the reason they cannot pay? Because they're hoping by today or tomorrow to collect. And the only thing they could collect is from the ports, because you remember they give amnesty that people that owe the government thousands of dollars in VAT that they've collected from the consumers, they don't need to pay that again. So government is waiting, hoping that they collect a lot of money from the port today and tomorrow to meet the wage bill.
Well, anybody that go in and clear something on Port St. George tomorrow, you and I know what's going on with them. Full voltage, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, they're coming from the top, full voltage today.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody that went and cleared today, and tomorrow they're getting it. They're getting it full voltage.
Yeah, and so, you see, the thing about it, Sheldon, is, and I wish that the acolytes of the NDC would be Grenadians. I wish that the acolytes of the NDC would be Grenadians. You see, one party to win, one party to lose. One party lost. The party that wins needs to govern. And if they cannot govern, the people that support them supposed to say to them, you're embarrassing us. I wish the acolytes of the NDC would be Grenadians. Why? Because if you carry on and think that this young boy is really baby Jesus, you're actually doing a disservice to our country. And Grenada belongs to me. I don't care what you say, Grenada is mine. So if NDC is going to be messing up my country, I have a right to say it. And I'm saying, if you're supporting the messing up of my country, you ain't Grenadian. I don't care what you say, how you look at it, you're not Grenadian. It is time you say it as it is, because you see, we have to realize that representatives, if you hire a lawyer to represent you in court and he's not doing a good job,
Oops. Oh no. I was trying to clear the next line and I asked AC Major, I was trying to clear the next line and I accidentally cut you off. Call me back, please. Call me back, call me back, call me back. Yeah, make sure I accidentally cut you off. I'm waiting on your phone.
This is not politics. Please don't forget, I'm just practicing to be a poet. Not qualified as yet, but have no fear. I'm gonna get there.
And the thing is, I know he's not listening online. So, yeah, let me see. I hope that's, boy, no, that's not him yet. Let me just give him, call on the other line. Hold a moment, because I was just clearing the line from you a while ago, and that's why I accidentally cut him off. So let me just give Alan a little while so he can call back.
No one knows me none, so everything is fine, fine.
Oh, this is the thing. Imagine that. You're at a situation now that pensioners go today. That's what I'm hearing too. That pensioners went for the money today and they couldn't get their money. I mean, come on, man. We have to do better than that.
I am that I am, I am.
Yvonne Courtney, good night to you.
I am that I am.
And Ism, good night to you as well. Candy, good night. Yeah, AC Major, give us a call back, man. Had the line, had the line clear. You see, the thing is how this thing structured here, it the wrong way are wrong. Yeah, that's the problem. That's why I'm having that problem right now. The two things, the wrong way are wrong.
Time that we address some more issues. Simple information I will use. No rocket science to get to.
Yeah, I have to pull out the lights and change them around. The overseas light by the local line and the local light by the overseas line. So it's confusing me.
That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you listen.
So I'm giving you a minute or two so that you can call back.
You now refrain. I remember you say liberate.
As I said to the caller on the local line, hold on. I'm trying to get the call back from Alan.
Deception is a powerful thing.
I will get to you. You will have the opportunity to speak, so hold on.
But you trick us with campaign promises. We won't say it.
Yeah, so that's the situation that's taking place now. You have a situation where, public workers have not yet. We gain a kind of 2008-ish vibes again when it comes to the accounts of the country and that kind of thing now. Yeah, we gain that kind of 2008-ish vibes again.
Get yellow, bus get yellow, man get yellow, even green.
So remember, this is no simple matter. This means that people, if they get their salaries too late, and hopefully, the payroll will go to the institutions in the morning. So let me just make sure I get it properly here. And hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, brother. Hearing you now. Yeah. Go.
Hello?
Yeah, I mean, we're hearing you. You go
I'm
right
hearing
ahead.
a lot of music.
Yeah,
I'm
you
hearing
go
a
right
lot of
ahead.
music.
Yeah, the music is leaking through. I saw that out on the weekend. Yeah, we're hearing you now. Sorry about that. As I said, the lines mix up across. So you go right ahead.
I guess you're sabotaging me. You become an acolyte of the NDC.
I would have never stopped and wait for you to call back if that was the case. But you go ahead.
So I'm saying, if you employ a lawyer to represent you,
Mm-hmm.
and he's not doing what you ask him to do, you are going to fire him. And it is the same thing. Politicians are not your bosses. They are your representatives. And if they're not representing you, for example, and this is a little class in civics now. Grenada's constitution does not recognize political parties. No party is a party in parliament. They don't recognize party. They recognize individuals. However, because of Eric Gary, we have party system in Grenada. Now, when you win your seat as a member of a party, it means that the whole party machinery was behind you. You did not win on your own unless you are independent and you ran independently. I mean that whatever you do is supposed to be reflective of the party. That is one side. So if you win your seat on Gary party and you want to leave Gary party, you have to go back to the Garyites and say, I want to leave, what all you think. You are not alone to yourself. Representation means that they do what you ask them to do. All of a sudden, politicians have this thing of believing they're telling people what should happen. Like I hear somebody who didn't win her seat saying, well, if all you want less money, all you go have less people. That's a threat. That's a threat, and that's a disrespect. Gloria Thomas is in no position to say one or the other. But then again, we're going to talk about that another time. If you have senior citizens who have worked in the roads when there was no machinery, who have laid pipes for water, who have done everything to make sure Grenada is as beautiful as it is, and you're saying today, that you do not have money to pay them, it means you have failed, and you have failed miserably in meeting the representation that you're supposed to be giving to the people who put you there. Politicians are not the bosses. Realize that when they campaign, they're begging everybody for vote. That's how it is. All of a sudden, they think they become bosses. They ain't no boss. So the representation you're getting for the vote you give is not up to par. It is time you ask them, straighten up and fly right or fly out of there. My brother, Grenadians deserve a lot of money. I hope they remember that. Grenadians deserve a lot of money. And when we say Grenadians, we are referring to the whole 120,000. When the extra 10,000 come out, the Grenadians are returning home. Grenadians deserve a lot of money. It's not just the minister's wife who is not qualified for a position, a managerial position, that the minister demand that she get. I'm just saying. Anyway, have a good evening, my brother. We'll talk again next week.
Okay, my brother. And folks, yeah, I could take the local call now. You could call now. Yet that was my good brethren, Alan Campbell, Grenada in 60 Issues Live. The original Clipsman himself. All right, yeah, in case all you didn't know, all you know now. All right, yeah, because all you remember, is now we say.
Here's the excuse that will be made. The excuse that will be made is it's a lot of money. Well, Grenadians deserve a lot of money.
Yeah, Grenadians deserve a lot of money. All right, here, let's go. Oops, wrong one. Let me get, yeah, I have to make sure I do the right thing tonight. Caller, good night. Hello.
Hi, Charlotte.
Hi, good night. Yes, go right ahead. You're live. Go right ahead. Caller?
Oh, okay.
You're not paying attention to the phone line, are you?
Sorry?
You're paying attention to the phone line?
Yes.
All right, so go ahead and speak. You're live. Go right ahead. Ignore the radio in the background.
Actually,
Go ahead.
yeah. I think so we know what we had. We knew everything about the 2008-2013 saga. I don't know what made Grenadians feel that things were gonna change. But I have persons here crying that they're broke because they got paid since on the 15th, and they're checking their accounts and there's no money in it. By the 25th, you would have had, payments starting to go into the accounts of persons working with government. And it's quite unfortunate. Well, should I say unfortunate? Or it's just that we were so, I don't know, because we vilify a man, Dr. Mitchell, so much that, we couldn't see what he was doing for this country. We vilify him. We have him so much as this bad, big, bad guy. And we couldn't see what he was doing. We were getting paid on time. Teachers could have, even in a pandemic, government workers were getting double salary. Salaries were paid on time. These are all things that, we keep repeating over and over and over again. But, when you have a government that cannot, as a matter of fact, not a government, a party, National Democratic Congress, has proven itself that it cannot stay in power at least for 2 terms. It happened the first time, it happened the second time, and now it's the third time, and Grenadians decided to give them another chance. Something had to be wrong with we head, we brain. What I say, once is a mistake. What the saying is, twice a habit. The third time is what? Once a mistake, twice a habit. The third time is what? What is the third time? What are you trying to say? A party that cannot stay in power for at least 2 terms. They cannot win 2 terms consecutively. And here you are giving them another chance. So what Grenadians really expected? You could change, you could have 3 different leaders, 4 different leaders. What did you really expect? Right? And now we have the pensioners wondering, the pensioners, the 150 taken away from them, and they probably would have gotten their little the little money since on the 15th of December and made promises to the shop that at the end of by January so and so they'd come and make a commitment to pay the shops or whatever, and they're being shortchanged because you have a government that decides to take a pay increase and all these things. We know what it is, but what is most importantly is that the people decided to give a party that has not been able to retain government or retain leadership twice in one, consecutively, which means there's something wrong. So why are we gonna do that for? So all we have right now, Grenadians have right now, is the self to blame. They want pension, they want permanent, they want, what else again? Increase in salary. Sit down there and wait for it. And they sell bonds or whatever to get 15 million. up to now, these people, and I'm talking about, they broke the end of January, and they broke like hell because they got paid since on the 15th. If was Doc, he don't manage himself already, and people start getting their money. Let us stay there and vilify Keith. The man is a boss. They can't stop him. Thank you.
All right, caller. Yes, indeed. 440-7377. Remember, you can call us on WhatsApp. I didn't think I see a WhatsApp call yet for the night. Yeah, one or two, but I missed them. 440-7377. You can call us on the WhatsApp, or you can call us directly on that number, or you can call us on 347-329-3101. That's the overseas line. Because all you just remember, it's no we say, is the man that take 150 from them elderly, disabled, and children. That say
The excuse that will be made. The excuse that will be made is it's a lot of money. Well, Grenadians deserve a lot of money.
yeah, Grenadians deserve a lot of money, but they take 150 from elderly people, they take 150 from disabled, children, and elders, and they take 150 from the children. But yet still, remember, the words of the Prime Minister.
That will be made. The excuse that will be made is it's a lot of money. Well, Grenadians deserve a lot of money.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably the Prime Minister went fishing for the money. I see one person telling me the pension was paid yesterday or so. I am hearing differently. So maybe somebody could confirm with me. I know that public workers have not been paid. Yeah, and I know that there is a mad scramble to source the funds now to pay public workers. And while that is taking place, Prime Minister out fishing. Yeah, while that is taking place, the Prime Minister is out fishing. I don't know if he went and fished, if he was looking for the money outside there. I don't know if what he was looking, I don't know what long line he was showing, what he was trying to fish out there. I don't know. I don't know if he catch anything while he was out there. I don't know. Don't ask me, all you have to ask them. All right, ask GIS. I don't know. Ask the press secretary if all you could find out one of these days. Ask her. I don't know. But the bottom line is, while you have this situation taking place, they see it more important to go out in the water to catch fish and photo opportunities. Remember, it's the same Prime Minister when they ask him what was the most challenging thing since becoming Prime Minister. He say one of the most surprising things has been that everywhere you go, somebody want a picture. Not that you're straightening the economy of the country, not that you're doing things for people, not that you're improving the standard of living of Grenadians. None of these things. The best thing was people want to take picture with me because it's all about themselves and their image. It's not about actually doing anything for anybody. As I've said last night, and I'll repeat tonight again, the back and forth about what is for 1 year and all this nonsense, and who want to side with the National Democratic Congress and try and cover the wickedness they do, you're just as damn wicked. Anybody that want to side with them, I don't care who want to vex with me, I don't care. I'm saying it as it is. Because you have people that you claim to care about who are in their 70s, who are in their 80s, who have various illnesses. Some of them have diabetes. They have lost limbs. These people need to ensure that they are on a strict regime of medication that they're not getting from the government pharmacy. That 150 was supposed to be helping them get. And you didn't even have the common courtesy or decency to tell these people that 150 is going to be stopped, and at the same time put in place another measure to ensure that these people get the medication. You're killing them. That's what you're doing. You're murdering these people. And I make no apologies for that because that is exactly what is happening. You have an 83-year-old woman with one leg who has to get her medication for her high blood pressure and her diabetes. And she has other ailments that she has to get medication for. Eye problems and so they have to get the drops and so. The 150 can't buy all of it, but the 150 could buy most of it to help keep that lady alive. And you have taken that 150 away from her. What do you think you do? You're killing her. And that's why they're talking about the seed list and it had dead people on the seed list. Hello. They do a cleanup of the seed list every year. every year, you go through the list and you check. You see, okay, person A may have been on the list because they were unemployed. Now they are employed, and they are employed to the point of they're making X amount of dollars. They no longer qualify for seed. In many instances, when people get the job and they get to that stage, they report to the seed office that, hey, I've got a job. I no longer need that money that you were giving to me on a monthly basis. In many, not all, but there are many very honest people in this country who, when they get to that point, they contact the seed officer and they say, take me off because I'm getting money now. I'm working now. I no longer need to get that. In other instances, when you are doing your review, when you are doing your cleansing of the list, that is not something that the NDC do, because the NDC coming and they're doing a cleansing of the list. Don't make them let you feel that how the NNP had the seed going on all these years and they never go and check the list and they never clean out people. That took place every single year. Every single year. And you have people dying every single week in this country. So there always will be people who were on the list and beneficiaries of the seed, and then they died. And if the seed officers are doing their job in the way that they ought to do their job, they would report that, hey, person A is no longer alive and now the person is off the list. You need to take the person off the list. Also, no payments should be going to that person. That is what has been taking place. You have children, the parents' situation may improve, and because the parents' situation has improved and they are now able to pay for their children to go to school and take care of things on their own, they graduate out of the seed program. Now, also in saying that a bunch of people have graduated out of the seed program, it would also be saying and admitting that the last government did something good, that they were able to do enough things to help these people to get to the point that they no longer needed to be on seed. But they would never do that, would they? We have a caller online. Good night.
Hey, good night, Sheldon.
Hey, how you doing, brother?
Hey, just quiet.
Yep.
Sheldon, I'm very funny tonight. And you had to figure me out. You have an answer, Sheldon, for the money that was taken off. You have a perfect answer for it. But do you have an answer? You are being accused, under your stewardship, is it being accused that so much dead people was on the list? Do you have an answer for that one too?
No, they aren't saying that.
Could you clarify that one?
They aren't saying that. They're not sensible enough. They don't have the intellectual capacity to realize that. Anyway, I can't say that word on the program. Mark might ban me from from Facebook, and I might get banned from YouTube too.
I cannot understand it. You have you could give a perfect answer for the removing of the money, but the same bunch of people accusing the system of having so much dead people on it under your stewardship. Do you have an answer for it? Is it true? And why is all these dead people was on the list under your stewardship? Give us an answer for that one too.
But here's the thing, brother. Here's the thing. If I believe you might know a bit about the seed program. Every year there's a review.
Surely.
And even during that time, the seed officers go out and they check and so on. So you have people that get a job. So they now have a proper salary coming in. They no longer need to be under seed. Or it might be a case where you have a mother and a father and both of them get a job. And when you add up the salaries together, they get to a stage that they no longer need to be under seed. They're making enough money and so on. And they are taken off the list. And that is a continuous process. So you will always have people. There are people, for instance, who leave Grenada today. They may have been under the seed program, but some family members send a ticket for them and they leave Grenada today, so they're gone. But they're trying to give the impression, well, a pile of people outside of Grenada and they're receiving seed, and a pile of dead people on the list, and a pile of people who working on the list. That is not a case for an extended period of time, like you have people there for 3 and 4 years and they're working, or you have people that are dead and they're on the list for a year and some. That is not the case. And they know very well that is not the case, you know.
Is it also that they put what they're trying to push is that these dead people were collecting money?
Well, if dead people was collecting money, they know what they have to do. The DPP is there. The DPP is there. Because if somebody was collecting the money on behalf of a person that's died, it means one, the seed officer wasn't doing their job and the structure wasn't working properly. And who was the minister that was in charge at that point in time? So the DPP needs to become involved.
In your face, taking her and make a fool out of you.
Now, they didn't realize that is what happening to them. They want to continue pushing the narrative of that organization. They want to continue pushing that narrative.
In other words, these people telling you that you were corrupt.
And here's the biggest thing here, my brother, and I continue to say that. Regardless of all this discussion, the people who feel it are who we have to be concerned about. We have to be concerned about these elderly people that can't buy their medication this week, brother. Some of these people now, they're going on a week without being able to take their medication because I was hoping for that money to be able to buy their medication, and they can't. These people who wanted to buy a cooking gas and can't. These people who wanted to buy the 1 or 2 pieces of groceries they might be able to pick up with that money, and they can't. Or they wanted to put a little 50 towards the electricity bill or so, and they can't. With all the horizontal and vertical, and it was supposed to be for a year and so, I mean, come on, man. We're talking about human beings here. We're not talking about numbers. We're talking about living, breathing human beings who it seems as though this government is trying to graduate out of the program by the... I mean, if you're 80-something years old, you're 90-something years old, is one way you're graduating out of the program. Me and you know that, isn't it? One way you're graduating. That is, you end up by Lacroix, you end up by Otway, or you end up by Wayne. One way you're coming out of the program. Yeah? Because it's not like you're going to go and find a job at the age of 80-something or 90-something and suddenly not qualify for seed. Yeah? You might win the lotto and get a couple 100,000. That might help. And it wouldn't be under seed. Right? But what's the likelihood of that? And we're going to talk about lotto just now. And that would be the...
And Sheldon, they could say as much as they want about the seed program. It is a complex program, Sheldon, because there are people who on the program who should not be on the program for long. They may come on the program because of certain circumstances, and when their circumstances change, they're supposed to go off the program. And sometimes these people come on the program and get tied up in the system. But despite of what people say, the empathy, the love, and that kind of mercy and understanding that that under the NNP that the program shows the people, the concern for people, is what really, really makes the seed program a program that really a program for the people and a program of the people. Yes, it's a complex program. Sometimes there was a certain PSI, could I remember, who put on a lot of little girls who get pregnant on the seed program. They're not supposed to remain on the program forever. They're supposed to come off the program. There are certain part of the program, they went on the program, and because they were pregnant, or sometimes they just have a little baby or some kind of thing. But after this person might get a job and they start doing well, they're supposed to come off. And sometimes these people may not come off because they might even report it that their situation improved. You have times where a child might be on the program and the child reach 18 years, or the child graduate from school, and the parents may come to the seed officer and say, look, I no longer want my daughter or my son on the seed program because they're now out of school and they find a little job. And you have some dishonest parents who might not say nothing, and the child may be collecting that seed money still. I mean, that doesn't make the program itself. It's not the seed officer or the program itself that is corrupt. If some people might have dishonest ways about them, where they're not frank enough to come out and say, oh, my son is now 18 years or he leaves school, he's doing a nice little job now, so I want him off the program. Some people pretend and collect the money. The seed program is a very complex program. Very, very complex program. And sometimes when you look at it, you may say this and you may say that, but putting the human first is what is important. Putting the human first. and looking at the human, and when the need, that need of the human, that comes first. I'm not saying that there wasn't weaknesses or there wasn't weaknesses in the program. People always try to
There's
trick
the
a
excuse
program.
that
Go ahead.
Yeah, people will always try to trick a program. But when you look at the program in its truth and what it stands for, that love for the need of the people, for the elderly, for the person who may disable and who can move and not getting an income, the seed program reaching the and full avoid. And that was the joy of the seed program. After the people received the 150, that extra 150, a lot of people, they were so happy because inflation went up sky high, and the things, cost of living was just beating them left, right, and center, and that 150 came in there and did well to them. And then when you look at it, I think with all goodness, the government, the present government, should have leave that 150.
Indeed.
They should have leave it because it serves that human need. It reached that human need. And they should have, leave that 150 there. They should not take it off because it look ugly to see you raise your salary or you take $2,000 and you're taking off 150 or you're stopping at 150 or you're not continuing that 150 for poor, vulnerable people. It doesn't look good. That shows that government doesn't have that kind of empathy for the poor, for the elderly, for the vulnerable. They are not for the poor, the elderly, and the vulnerable. In fact, during the campaign, there was kicking and slapping the elderly left, right, and center. They were telling them, resign, go home, retire. And in the way they were speaking, when you interpret the language, it's like they're saying, go home and dead. Now, we've seen, they're ready to execute it. You could, if you can buy a medication, then that's up to you. Stay home dead. These people have to go back and think and understand. I believe when Dr. Mitchell and them sit down and they think about the elderly, you could have seen that empathy, you could have seen that love and that understanding for poor people. But what we're seeing here now is that these people are burden to our economy, are burden to our society. So somehow, man, let us fed on their own. And what they get is enough. If we continue with that kind of mentality, I'm saying that we are not showing that love to the people who really deserve it, people who work hard in the past, or people who cannot even work hard because of some, disability. They can't come out and produce, and they need that help from society, and they need that help from the government. I think the government should think twice, Sheldon, and put the 150 back on. Find that 150 and put it back on for the people. Thank you.
Yes, indeed. 440-7377. You can call us on the WhatsApp. You can call us directly. And 347-329-3101. You can call us on that number as well. Yes, no, we say.
Here's the excuse that will be made. The excuse that will be made is it's a lot of money. Well, Grenadians deserve a lot of money.
Let's hear that again. There's no we say.
Here's the excuse that will be made. The excuse that will be made is it's a lot of money. Well, Grenadians deserve a lot of money.
Now, the same people who are saying that Grenadians deserve a lot of money have taken $150 away from these people. And they could use any excuse they want. At the end of the day, it is just pure wickedness. Remember, these people were able to find millions of dollars to set up a ministry that didn't exist before, the Ministry of Implementation and Transformation. They were able to find the money because that money was not budgeted for the year 2022. If you check the budget for the year 2022 last year, There was no Ministry of Implementation and Transformation. They knew what to use to find the money to do that. There was no budgetary allocation for the repayment of the money that was taken away from the teachers. They knew where to go and find the money to do that. There was no allocation in the 2022 budget for an increase in the salaries of government ministers. Not only did they find which part to go and do that, but they made sure that when they do it, they put it as traveling allowance, so you can't tax it $24,000 per man and woman, with the exception of the Prime Minister. But now, when it comes to find the money to pay $150 to these elderly people, they can't find the money. Remember, it's not the New National Party that went there and said that how we are going to leave that money there, that we're going to leave it.
My government has decided to continue the vertical expansion of seed program, which was scheduled to end in December of this year. This therefore means that family will continue to receive the additional $150 per household. Madam President, we will also be the seed program, which was scheduled to end in December of this year. This therefore means that family will continue to receive the additional $150 per household.
So you understand that the minister promised that they would keep it, and what? She went on a program afterwards and she admitted that she made that statement. And let me just get it here. Yeah, she admitted that she made that statement.
As a projection, we agreed that we will continue with the 150, and I made that pronouncement in the Senate. However, this was not possible because the savings that we would have realized from the recertification will not be able to maintain the 150 to go forward.
They could maintain the 2,000 for themselves, but they can't maintain a 150 for elderly people, for disabled people, and for children. So they could maintain 2,000 for themselves. And here's this, not just 2,000 for themselves, you know. Remember, they have these slew of advisors that they've brought in that are receiving significant amounts of money. We ain't talking no $1,000 and $2,000 here. You're talking about people that getting all kind of 8 and 9 in different departments that they have brought in. You have the advisors with the $4,17 or so traveling allowance and 50% concession on vehicles and other perks that they are receiving. They find the money for that, but they can't find the money to maintain this program at this level for the elderly people in this country who already make the contribution. The people who tonight, again, and I'm going to keep repeating it because it's the truth. If I die tonight and I face St. Peter, I know that I'm speaking the truth. That there are elderly people, because of what has been done, cannot buy their medication. That there are elderly people that cannot buy their groceries. That there are elderly people that cannot pay their utilities simply because of the move that has been made. And to lie and say that they ought to or know and they would have known and this kind of thing. Absolute nonsense. Absolute nonsense. At the end of the day, the argument could continue. You know what needs to be done? The $150 needs to be returned to each of these recipients. The people really need it. It is not a want. They ain't just want it. They need it. Right? So it should be returned. And add a 50 or 100 on top of that. Even if you have to take off the 2,000 from yourself. Even if you have to reduce on the amount of advisors you have. Because the more advisors you have shows the more incompetent that you are. That is why you have ministers. That is why you have ministers who going out there and asking people to bid on contracts through their parliamentary office. And then when the Prime Minister is asked about it, he's shocked. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know. And not everything you see online is true. And you're seeing an activist on stage singing activists at the party under the same post in a back and forth conversation with the minister in relation to the same issue. You seeing it? They could find money for all them kind of thing. Yeah? Like the advisors ain't advising properly. Then you have what is taking place right now. I keep hearing stories about what's going on in Lotto, you know. Can't intimidate me. I keep hearing stories about what is going on in Lotto. The rape of the funds that are in Lotto. That's taking place right now. That's what I'm hearing. That right now you have a certain media entity doing advertising being paid through the National Lottery Authority. Junior George, is that you? Mr. Ride Along. Are you being paid by the National Lottery Authority? And if so, under what contract and to do what? Because last I knew, the funds under the National Lottery Authority of Grenada are supposed to be used for youth, sports, and community development. So unless what you are doing falls within any of those categories, then something had to be wrong. Let us stay there and feel I don't know about the $18,000 that was spent on a hotel in the south of the island. Just because it was to assist a group that came in. And the person who brought in the group is one of the senior people in the NDC in St. David. Well, if you don't know about that, I've just been staying quiet so far. But $18,000 were taken out of the National Lottery Authority and paid for a group that was visiting Grenada. Not a Grenadian group that went overseas, you know. A foreign group that came and was visiting Grenada and was paid for a facility in the south of the island for that group to stay. So all you feel I don't know that? That's what National Lottery Authority money for. And there are other things I could say, you know. But I'm going to say it piece by piece by piece. Let you figure what I know. Because you know nothing I say there is untrue. All you know nothing I say there is untrue. Yeah? Junior George, what I've said, is it untrue? Do you have a contract with the National Lottery Authority? If so, what does that contract entail? And if it's not with the National Lottery Authority, and it's with a government ministry, which ministry? And are you being paid by the National Lottery Authority? What is the source of funds? You have a situation with a particular playing field in St. John. I could understand that the National Lottery Authority playing to cut the playing field in St. John and so on. The little 6-month contract thing. No, let us feel I don't know what's going on. Not because I don't speak about something means that I ain't knowing. All you want to come and jump on the live tonight. Jump on, because it have a lot we got to say. Because what you all are doing is wicked. So all you could find money, take money out of the National Lottery Authority to do all these kind of things. $18,000 to pay for the stay of a group, not a Grenadian group, a group that come into Grenada. And just because of the association with a certain senior member of the NDC, I could call name, certain senior member of the NDC in St. David constituency, they take the money from National Lottery Authority and they pay to keep the people here. Yeah? Look at this. We're going to have a new cabinet secretary as of Monday. All you feel I didn't know that? We're going to have a new cabinet secretary. In other words, the person who is going to be the secretary to cabinet when they're having the cabinet meetings, the key person there, right. We're going to have a new cabinet secretary. The old cabinet secretary is retiring. They're going. And again, they're going and take your money, your taxpayer money. They like to talk about taxpayer money. Explain why at a point in time when you're struggling to find the money to pay public workers, that the cabinet of this country and the senior management team of the government of Grenada is going down to a certain hotel in the south of the island, spending thousands of dollars of taxpayer money to have a big going away ceremony, eat and drink and flow champagne and fancy food. at the cabinet because the cabinet secretary is going. Explain that. But these poor people can't buy medication, but you could take the taxpayer money to go and buy champagne and fancy food because the cabinet secretary is going. And don't feel I don't know the name of the new cabinet secretary already too, you know. I know that too. Because let us feel that because we come here and we speak about one issue or the other issue that we don't know about things. No, I'm telling all you, we know. We know what's going on in Lotto. At least I know what's going on in Lotto. The rape that's taking place in Lotto right now are the funds that was left there. That's why right now, public workers find themselves in the situation that they find themselves in. Meanwhile, little granny sit down right now and she wondering, boy, we are going to get the medication because the main reason she's under seed is because she do have children. She do have children. She had nobody to take care of her. So she was under seed because she needed the help. She needs it. She does not want. There's this thing about the needy and the greedy and all this kind of thing. Like if people just wanting. These people really seriously have a need. They have no means of income, no money coming in. You're not supposed to be taking away money from people like that in a point in time when you're raising the price of electricity, you're raising the price of water. Yeah? For those who are working, they're going to be paying more under NIS. And believe me, this is just the first in a rollout. Remember, over a period of years, they're going to be adding another percent. Every so often, they're going to be adding another percent. So the first percent supposed to be coming out as of next month. Right? Even to say you're going and get children some sugar water is more expensive because water more expensive and sugar is more expensive. Lime juice, yeah, the water is more expensive, the sugar is more expensive. So even if you're going to get children sugar water, it's more expensive. That is what is taking place in our country right now. But you could find the money, and it's between when? 11 and 2 tomorrow? I could name the hotel too, but for security reasons, I'll go leave it alone. At least I have that kind of decency that you all never had when the new National Party was in office. Yeah? But all you're going and jam up there tomorrow. Champagne and wine go flow. But these elderly people can't buy their medication. These disabled people can't get Pampers. And as I say that, I want to again, I didn't have your permission, and all other people like to give things and not say. Right? I don't have your permission to mention your names, but I want to thank all of you that reached out to me from last week Thursday, even up to today, reached out to me to assist with Pampers and other things to help that family that called the other night and spoke about the situation with the 2 disabled people in the house. Many of you have called and reached out. I met some of you. I went to collect Pampers. We drop off and different things like that. Yeah? No, you will not see any pictures of that. We don't operate that way. Yeah? But we make sure that we do what we have to do to try and help people when they end up in those situations. And remember, it has to be a continuous thing because it's Pampers. It's not something that they have and they go out for 20 years. You use and you need more. So while they're going and fet tomorrow, while they could go out and lime out on the water today and still not sure how civil servants getting pay in this country, or they could come, I want more of them come under the life. Don't run them. Let them come. They don't understand how Facebook works too. Let them come. We have a call online. Good night.
Sheldon, good night.
Good night, my dear.
Preach it. They're going on Shaggy Station and saying, now you come in and lie about how kind of thing what they're going on. Preach it. Tell them.
They go no lie. They go no lie. Let the call a election. They go find out about lie. Call a election now.
Preach it. Later on, they're playing games with you. They come, they give you 3 drops, and they're taking up more money than giving you $2. Preach it, give them. No hiding secret. We're making them know what they're doing. You think it's just so? Nothing so. Preach it. Don't fret to say it once you know you're right. Preach it.
Everything I say here, I could back up, you know. Everything I say here tonight, I could back up.
I tell you, preach it. Don't fret to say it because they know my mouth. My mouth are bong already too. It's too bong. So it don't make any sense.
The signing the self with the big toe?
The joking? Preach it. That thing what you are. No secret hiding. No secret hiding. taking the people and then passing you around and asking you whole business, and they believe it's just so. Asking how about your neighbor string, like if they come out here to help people build what they're building, to know what you have. They know better know where they go in. Preach it, Sheldon. Preach it. Tell them.
All right, my dear.
Tell them. Good night.
You enjoy the rest of your night.
All right.
Yes, indeed. See, they're talking about Western Main Road and who caused project to lose. You in office. You in office. You ask for it. You work for it. You get it. Do the work. Every minute they want to try and complain and blame somebody else and, oh, is NNP do this and NNP do that and NNP do the other and all kind of thing. You in power. Now they're talking about, oh, don't build highway from the south of the island to the north in 30 minutes. Good luck. I wish you get through with it to go benefit everybody. I have my own ideas in what should be done. I've said it on this program before. So if all of a sudden you hear them start to talk about fast ferry between the south and the north of the island, all you know they take it from here on talking points. That is we idea. Because with the volume of vehicles in this country right now, any common sense thinking and intelligent person would realize that you have to move away from the roads and you have to take another path to get from the north to the south of the island. And the best way to do that is by a fast ferry. Yeah, but then people will say, you're giving them too much ideas, Sheldon. Don't give them ideas. No, it's for the betterment of Grenada. We have a call online. Good night. Hello?
Yes, Sheldon. Good night. Good night to all your listeners in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, and including the diaspora. It's very, very interesting to see a lot of you online tonight listening. I'm also tuned in. Sheldon, what is very, very, very disheartening, apart from just the $150 that was taken away from the elderly persons. When the National Democratic Congress were campaigning for election, they told persons that the healthcare system in Grenada was in such a deplorable state that they made persons in the diaspora felt that it was more dire than it was. And when you compare Grenada healthcare system and the level of delivery and so on as compared to persons living in the diaspora, what we are experiencing, it is not that far. And the only thing is that you have certain equipment and persons might be more accessible because there are a lot of facilities. As compared to Grenada, you have the two main facilities. But it is very heartening at the rate of persons who are dying in Grenada. Doctors are just not diagnosing patients properly. And I know definitely that the New National Party would have tried their best to equip the General Hospital and the Maribor, and including the Princess Royal Hospital in Carriacou, before the election came around. And when you hear persons suffering from things like chest pain and they're dying on their way home, and you hear persons going to doctor with just a simple issue, and doctor doesn't know what to do in terms of diagnosing it, you tell yourself there is something going on. It is not just about the facility. It has a lot to do with frustration in the system, and this frustration has been created by the new administration. When you have a minister popping up in a health facility as a general hospital at 2 o'clock in the morning as large jobless, you have to ask yourself what's taking place. What are you doing there when you have a management team running a facility? I mean, come on, you're trying to create a sense of fear among the workers. That cannot be right. Where are the union in all this as well? We need to hear about that, what's going on in the healthcare system. Carriacou, I heard it's a mess, put together with the hospital in St. Andrews. Where is the facility? These are the things that I want Minister Delma Thomas to talk about. These are the issues I want her to speak out about. Let people know what she has done to upgrade the facility over the years and what is taking place presently. Because the sort of ideology that was created in the minds of Grenadians before the election is coming home to roost, because they will be realizing that those lies that they were told they were not true. So we want to hear about that. And one of my predictions is pretty soon there will be a freeze on hiring. If so many persons have been sent home in Carriacou, PT Martinique, and in Grenada, pretty soon the government will say either they don't have money and they would have to put a freeze on hiring. And I want to hear about the level of unemployment that's been created, the percentage right now as compared to pre-pandemic. To me right now, we gone back to almost pandemic stage for unemployment when persons were being full loaded or sent home. I want to hear the government speak on that, and the person that has been made permanent, I want to hear them need to start calling in. Let us know if they are permanent as yet, if they received a permanent letter or if they're still on contract. And the government, they can talk about the Prime Minister. He spoke about illegal. For instance, if you spend 2 and 3 months on a contract, it is illegal. I want to know that the person that he hired during his tenure since he came in the past 7 months, aren't they? Isn't it the contract that was issued to this person aren't they illegal? Let's think and think logically. Wake up, Grenadians! Wake up quick! Stay woke. Thank you.
All right, my brother.
Okay. Yes, indeed. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. You can also call us on 347-329-3101. I could argue about January 1st to December 31st. That does not make a difference to that elderly person who tonight don't have the pills to take, who blood pressure could spike and cause them to end up in hospital because, number one, they're stressed out because they can't buy the medication, which causing their blood pressure to go high, that they now don't have the medication to level off. These people doing things and they're not thinking about what they're doing, you know. Next week, I want to have a talk about dialysis. I was supposed to contact somebody today to have a little chat in relation to it. I know they're listening. I haven't forgotten you, but today was a busy day for me. All right? So I will be contacting you to get some more information in relation to what is happening with dialysis right now. That you have people being told that you can't get your dialysis unless you come with your money in your hand. People that do, number one, a person who is having kidney problems can't carry on a normal job. That person can't go out there and work as you and me, as normal. There are certain jobs that they can do, but they cannot go and do certain other jobs. Many of them, due to the fact that they have renal failure, otherwise known as kidney problems, they cannot hold a proper job. And yet still, it seems as though the government didn't care anything about that. The Grenada Kidney Foundation trying and do what they could do. They're trying to put a little money there. But you have people being issued letters by the company that is doing the dialysis in Grenada right now. They're issuing letters to some of these kidney patients telling them that it's two things about it. It's either you come with a one-off payment for the month, and that's over $2,000 or more. I think a lot more than that probably. Or for each treatment you come with your, how much, $100, whether it's $400 or whatever dollars they have to come with for each treatment. And remember, you're speaking about 3 treatments at least a week. So that means that these people have to go with $1,200 a week to get treatment. And if they don't do it, then their blood, you know what happens with their blood? Their blood becomes poison. But in other words, that's the end. And these people are not being... They're contacting ministers just responding and sending them on a virtual merry-go-round. So you message Minister A, Minister A say, check Minister B. Minister B say, well, check back with Minister A, and they're sending you wrong. Like you send the fool further on because they think he's a fool. That's what's going on in this country right now. And then they go say, well, what did the NNP do for it? What the NNP did was that the new National Party had put in place a renal treatment facility in the new facility that's at the General Hospital, the Accident and Emergency, that's up there right now, that the NNP bill, that when the NNP was out of office between 2008 and 2013, that they leave the iron there to rusty And it took the new National Party to come back in. They used to stand up in tongue, point it and say, look where Bowen and Keith leave all here. Look, you rusting up there. And they never made any move to complete that facility that this NNP government came back in and completed. And now you have the NDC in office. The NDC in office, and they're already talking about, oh, we're going to move the hospital from there and put it in another location. Not because they believe that another location is better for the hospital or anything like that, you know. It is simply because they already have a developer for that land. They already have a plan to put a hotel where the general hospital is. They say the view too good to just leave Grenadians there with the general hospital. So their intention is to move the general hospital from there because they already have their investors for that property. And I'm talking from right around, from over by Winawasa is there, come right around. The only thing that remain is the fort on the top. But they have their plans, they have their drawings, they have everything for that facility there. Move the general hospital and put a hotel there. That's the plan. So it's not just, oh, we need to improve healthcare and we need to move the hospital, you know. If you want to move the hospital, that's one thing. But in the interim, you have people that are sick now. Heard another story of another young person going, telling them that they're feeling sick and so on, telling them that the chest hurting them, being told to go and sit down outside and die. And that's the second story like that I'm hearing in the last 2 weeks. Of people going, last time was one with a stomach pain, this one was one with a chest pain. Go in and they say the stomach pain and them thing, go and sit down outside, died. This one, my chest hurting, they go, the thing, sit down outside, died. That is improvement in healthcare? That's improvement in healthcare? Come on, man, seriously. And only looking to flip the blame. You in charge now. It's your responsibility. You're in charge. You have the responsibility to ensure that the job gets done. And Cathy, I agree with you. The Prime Minister probably went out there because he was... Cathy, you know easy. Cathy said the Prime Minister went out in the water because he was doing offshore banking. He probably went there in truth. You know what? Let me play a song. 440-7377. It's time for this government to learn that taking pictures and nice words doesn't save lives, doesn't develop people, doesn't improve the state of the country, doesn't fix the roads, build bridges, doesn't provide an education for the children that are removing scholarships from. Yeah, because they've told some of the students who are attending SGU to take some time off and come and reapply. To reapply in July. That's what they're telling some of the students. So these students now have been caught between a rock and a hard place because they started classes for this semester, which now they have to personally find money and pay SGU for, because they started with the understanding of what was taking place under the new National Party was that the NNP was helping them out. Because we understand the importance of education. You heard Honorable Joseph here the other night speaking about the volume of people that he assisted personally and through government to go to school, go university, whether it's to go to TAMCC or New Law or wherever, that he assisted personally to do that. Yeah? But now you're hearing the stories, and it's not one, it's not two. I have spoken to them personally, so they can't say that I lie. They like to run on other radio programs. Come here and say I lie. Come here. Because we know you're listening. Some of them, they're waiting until the program done, and then they go in and listen. Why you think we're seeing figures over 7,000 every night? Because some of them, they want their name show up. So they ain't coming and watch the program while it's going on, you know. They're waiting until when it's done, and then they go and they watch and they listen. And then some of them, they jump in on radio in the morning. Oh, they're only lying and they're telling untruth. Prove it. Prove it. I have been speaking to some of these students. worrying poor people children. This is not Mr. So-and-so and Miss So-and-so children. Poor people children. Their parents struggle to get them to that point that now they're at SGU and they can't move forward because the government pulled the funding. And being given the whole merry-go-round. Well, it could be Mary, not merry-go-round alone, no. They give them Mary, Joseph, and Jesus run around. And these people had the full expectation that the government would have continued to do what was being done under the last government and assist them with those payments to SGU. Instead of that, they cut it. And you like young people, and you like education, and that's what you're doing to young people. One of the young people had to say to me, if this is the transformation these people talking about, if this is the love for the young people that they're talking about, that they could do something like that to them. And then because that young person has found a job, but they had a family that they're taking care of. That young person found a job and now they want to disqualify them. They say, well, you have a job now, you could pay to go to university. No, the government was helping them. And even if they found a job, did you check to see the amount of money they're earning and what that money goes towards? No, they didn't check that. You get a job, forget it, you ain't getting nothing again. That's the attitude of these people. It's okay for them to add $24,000, and I'm going to say it every night. It's okay for them to add $24,000 onto their salary. But when it comes to doing things for these poor and vulnerable people in Grenada, these people who really need assistance, they're not doing it. Then they will come wrong and grin about we love you and we care about you. That is the same set of people. They're wicked. There's no other way to describe it. They are wicked. And anybody that tries to defend what they have done, just as wicked or even more wicked than them, because you know better. So for anybody to come and try and defend what they are doing, you're more wicked than them. Because you're defending wickedness. Who don't like it? Too bad. Yeah? Who don't like it? Too bad. 4407377.
Friends, I would travel all over this world. Anyway I go, I bound to come back. Little Grenada, this land of my butt. When I take a look at the horizon.
Yes, to my other Kathy.
Only out.
And she said, remember to go out and register. Let me have that. Let me just stop this for a minute in the back here. We'll come back to that song, you know. Yeah. With all that's happening, I want you all to remember one thing. Make sure that you're registered. Make sure that your young people are registered. Yeah? Those young ones, make sure they're registered. I think we have a caller online. Good night, caller.
Good night.
Good night, caller.
Yeah, I have a question.
Go right ahead.
What are you thinking about the...
Yeah, I had a feeling because you see when they start to twist their voice and so, you know they come in and try that kind of thing. Yeah, so they didn't get a chance. Try again. Or there are other programs that you could call and try that kind of nonsense. All you're wicked. There is only one way to describe that. All you're wicked. Yeah? No other way. All right? Good. So as I was saying, remember to get registered. Remember, there are quite a few youngsters who between June of last year and this year, they have gotten to the age of 18. You need to make sure that they get registered early. Make sure that their name is on the voters list early. Then you have those who are 17, those who are 16, those who are 15 that will be eligible to vote in the next 3 years or so. You need to ensure that you keep them close and you get them registered as well. Because I'll tell you something, what they are looking at is that within that 5-year period, there will be roughly between 5 to 6,000 people that would be registered. That would be new voters registered, young people that have come of age and would be registered. And they are going hell hard to make sure that they get those young people and that they keep those young people on their side. So that is why the pictures, that is why all that kind of nonsense. Every minute is a picture and a this and a that and that kind of thing. Because they are focused on twisting the minds of these young people to make sure that those that they lose this time around, who know that when they spoke to police officers and they tell them about pay and grade, when they spoke to police officers and they told them about pay and grade, that police officers still waiting right now, that since in December, they're supposed to provide them with a document that speaks to pay and grade from Ernst & Young. And they're doing like if these people no longer exist, that company no longer exists. So we back in 1912, where you have to write a letter or send a telegraph. And the people and them have to send that letter and it had to come by a slow boat over to Grenada. We in 2023. And they had this problem in 2022 when it's just an email away, when it's just a WhatsApp away. But these people have no intention of dealing with that pay and grade issue. We heard the Prime Minister, when he went and he talked to the police officers in relation to pay and grade. Let me make sure I have that here, right. We have when he talked.
To the men and women of the Royal Grenada Police Force who put their lives at risk. We know that since 1995, there has been no pay and salary grade adjustment for you. That is 22 years ago. No adjustment to your pay and salary scale. And I therefore assure you that the National Democratic Congress will address that issue.
Yeah, and remember, it's also the same person. The same person when they're speaking to you. Let me make sure I have the thing here, man. I just have to make sure I have it close by.
Here's the excuse that will be made. The excuse that will be made is, it's a lot of money. Well, Grenadians deserve a lot of money.
Yeah, let me play it again.
Here's the excuse that will be made. The excuse that will be made is, it's a lot of money. Well, Grenadians deserve a lot of money.
And again, remember, these are the people that promise Grenadians deserve a lot of money, but they didn't say which Grenadians, So it's probably they mean themselves that deserve a lot of money and their friends. Yeah? Because I told you all, look, let me see this contract here. This contract is for, let me see the name of the person on this contract. Mr. Ian Thomas, as advisor to the Minister with responsibility for youth, sports and culture. Yeah, youth, sports and culture, as in Spice Mass Corporation. Django, rally take place between you and Kelvin. Anyhow, contractual period for 2 years. Yeah, effective from the 1st of November. The salary, yeah, $54,000 per annum. Traveling allowance, $4,944 per year. Yeah, concession, 50% concession on the purchase of an appropriate vehicle and vacation leave of 25 days. Yeah? Let me get it back up here. Yeah. Let me see. Mr. Thomas would receive salary under Vote 19. Yeah, Vote 19 administration. They can't find a vote. They can't find an area to find the 150 to pay the elderly people. And anybody that calling and trying to twist the thing to get off of that, you can't because all you're wicked. Yeah? Vote 19. You could find money under Vote 19 to pay all your friends, all your political appointees. But you can't find $150 to pay the elderly people. And then people supposed to say different about all you? Come on, man. Really and truly? People supposed to say different about all you? No. Mm-mm. No. 440-7377. Only what the number of the person that called to try and twist we program a little while ago. I could give all of the number so all of you could call and tell them good night. Anywhere around 2-3 this morning would be a good time to call them. And they could do that for the next 30 days or so. And any of them call, we're going to do that. We're going to give their number on air. When they call this program and they try that stupidness, because I don't answer unknown numbers. You could go to hell with that. Any of them call and they try that nonsense, we are going to put their number out and we're going to make sure and give it to everybody so that you could call them. But we want you to call 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning and them kind of time. So whole day, whole night, yeah, just call them. Nice? We have a caller online. Let me just stop this. Good night.
Good night, sir. How are you?
Hey, I'm quite fine. How are you doing?
I'm trying my best to hold on with the circumstances.
All right.
Right. So the reason I called is I've listened to the program and it's good. And the honest truth is that I agree with some of the points. Listen to Mr. Bowen said, I think it was Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
And these things really resonate with me because you look at, we're having job retention right now. We have a decrease in the social safety net. We have an increase in taxes coming, and there's no foreseeable future for especially the young people because that puts a great up on those who are coming. And I missed a bit of the program earlier, but I listened to you speaking about someone who was denied continuation of their scholarship due to seeking employment. See that if that person goes forward and tries to better themselves while still getting, we call that work study. So it seems that there is some personal vendetta or continuous political targeting going on here.
Well, I didn't even want to go on to the political thing, because while I believe that may be part of it, I just think it's unconscionable that a young person is trying to improve themselves and you don't give them support.
Well, to be very honest with you, I would say it does have some, I'm not being political, I'm not being biased.
No.
Given what we came from and their whole political thing was just to how they spoke about youth, and I'm not seeing anything for youth right now. I'm not seeing anything. I'm not seeing any foreseeable future for the generations to come right now, because the parents who are trying to send their kids to school, I looked at the debushing program. These are the people who come in and spend money in the small shops and stuff like that, not those who are working in the bank. They go in and spend their money in the supermarkets. Now, when you cut these people money, they can't come in the shop and buy 2 pounds of sugar, 2 pounds of flour. The supermarket don't sell quarter ounce of cheese. It's the shop they have to go to. Now, the small businesses are hurting, and I given it about 3 months before you see the effects go up the ladder and start affecting the big businesses, because now they don't have the same purchasing power. You reduce the income of a lot of communities who have poor and vulnerable places. And truth is that when you do that and you affect communities, you affect the country on a whole.
Yes, it is. And I mean, there's so much that's going on here to unfold. And you still have people that are just trying blindly to defend this thing.
Well,
how could you defend doing that to a young person?
They are blind.
Ah, goodness.
Yeah, no problem, man. Well, that's my piece.
All right, thank you very much.
Wonderful night. I'm listening.
Same to you.
Right.
Oh boy, I don't know what is up with my phone line and 1 or 2 things. Gonna have to do some work in studio over the weekend, because 1 or 2 things here are happening that shouldn't happen. So I know that you all heard the caller, but you may not have heard him very, very clear. There are quite a few things that we have to sort out here. And, oh God, don't tell me it's another letter for somebody to go home or just send for me there again. Oh God. Yes, folks, 440-7377. You can call on the WhatsApp. You can call directly. We have roughly about 15 minutes remaining on tonight's program. I'm warning those of you in the NDC, call me and I'll make your number so popular you'll never believe. You'll have to go in and change it. So go ahead, call and try that. Yeah? Call us and try it. You won't see. You won't find out. The hard way. Nice? Yes, indeed. 440-7377.
Shake it, Michel Woy. Samotan mo pe mo ka ele. Mizena lagin at Muse Michel nam naka chuye no. Shake it, Michel Woy. Samotan mo pe mo ka ele. Mizena lagin at Muse Michel nam naka chuye no. Wonders and signs in the hands of time. Fish is dying in the ocean. We need a pity mat, we can carry it. Disasters and problems we going through.
So wait, I'm just seeing something here. A memorandum that was passed out in the Ministry of Youth and Sport. And it basically is saying here that they are not going to be paying any national insurance on behalf of persons who are engaged via contract for service. So anyone who is working with the Ministry of Youth and Sports and Culture and so, who is on that type of contract, a contract for service, the same thing that they was cussing NNP about. I'm going to go and find the audio. They can't remove it in time because I download everything already. So I'll could try. The same thing that they were accusing the new National Party of doing and saying NNP not paying NIS for people who on contract for service and that kind of thing. This thing is dated the 20th of January 2023. The 20th of January 2023, signed by the Permanent Secretary. Yeah, let me see who's it. Yeah, it's kind of far off, so I have to kind of peep it here. The Permanent Secretary, Mr. Alva Brown, I think it is. Yeah. Permanent Secretary, Youth, Sports and Culture. Yeah. And that was the same thing. Remember in the campaign they was talking about, and they're not even paying the NIS for people, which is illegal. Well, the same people that are saying that is illegal, imagine they're doing the same thing right now. Yeah? The same people. My goodness. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. 440-7377, man. Let me say a special good night to those of you out there in Carriacou and Petit Martinique. I know on Monday we're supposed to be having the funeral of my good sister Venetia.
And them teenagers quickly maturing. We need an architect to design a plan for those mom and dads and also children. We don't have much work, we don't have money. Unemployment increasing rapidly. We need a solution just for survival. Too much for the jail and the hospital. Shake it, Michel Woy.
Yes, and we have a caller online. Let me just kill that. Good night. Hey, my dear.
You know what's going on there? What a hit! That was a lie. The NBC. That was a hit. That was a lie. All of them.
My dear, just get ready, eh? Wherever children you have to register them.
This morning they're going on. This morning saying Shaggy station. A Shaggy does not have that woman on his station, you know, because Shaggy not there.
Mm-hmm.
That is why they're doing.
Well, let she enjoy she last few days right now. I feel Shaggy going back just now.
Because Shaggy not there, she opening out the radio, coming on the radio. When Shaggy come back, all show stop. Yeah. All right.
All right, my love. And I hearing stories. I hearing our stories. I hearing something about Imani. All you go ahead and touch them, Imani. Go ahead. Touch them, Imani. Yeah? I don't see one young lady don't say she vote out, she walk already. She jump up, she wind up, she wail, she hold on to fence during the NDC rally and thing. Tears beda, she cry. She say, oh God, we need a change. She get the change. She well get the change. They send her home. They send her home. And they take the seed money from she grandparents. She say, oh God, I could never support NDC again. She whine, she juke in front of the stage. She hold on to the fence and she cry. Now she crying again. But she crying because she realized she was tricked. Well, we warn you. See how some of them come and they're talking about, oh, NNP have this and NNP have confusion and just remember one thing. Any of them come and tell you that, just remember one phrase. All are we is NNP. Even if we do not agree on issues, even if we do not agree about a particular approach, all are we is NNP. When the time comes to vote, all are we is NNP. Don't get up with us. We might not agree on the direction somebody going. We might not agree with something that they have done. But it's still we brother, it's still we sister. Me and my brothers could have the biggest fight. But touch one of them now. Or touch me. You won't see where you feel like I'm an only child. I'm not an only child. I'm a blessed child, but I'm not an only child. Yeah? My grandmother ain't grow me up so. You interfere with one, you interfere with all. We could just finish fight. You interfere with one of us, you interfere with all. And that is an NP2. You interfere with one, you interfere with all. So let us talk amongst ourselves. We could quarrel with ourselves if we have to quarrel. We could have a discussion with ourselves when we have to have a discussion. But at the end of the day, all are we is NNP. Don't get it tied up and don't get it twisted. Yeah? Nice. So all of you who were on contract for service within the Ministry of Youth and thought that the NDC would be giving you more money, remember, not only are they not going to pay NIS, but you have to pay 1% more NIS now. Eh? Hey, Hannah, I didn't see you there, girl. Good night to you, Hannah. Gosh, you want me to get that number now? Don't worry, I'll go put that number out in a little while. They're playing, they don't know us. Teach them a lesson. And folks, last night I was speaking about it. And I purposely didn't get back into that topic tonight because I want to give that topic a whole night to go into it. The fees that are being imposed on the barbers. Yes, you barbers. The fees that are being imposed on you and what they're asking you to do because they could pull your license to operate. In other words, they could box the bread out of your mouth if you don't follow the rules that they have put in place for you. Yeah? That you have to operate in a certain manner and you have to, they're trying to legislate how other people behave when they come inside your place, all kind of thing, you know. Yeah, that's what they're doing to you all barbers and hairdressers and nail technicians, yes. Even if you're doing it in your veranda, even if you're one of the people that has braid hair down on Granans Beach, when the tourists come, you go and braid hair and so, they still consider you a hairdresser. And under the allied health professionals, yeah, you are covered under that too. So you have to go and get registered and have your documentation. And somebody messaged me this morning. They say, but Sheldon, these people going for visa? Because you had to bring 2 passport picture, police record, medical record, certificates for training in the area that, so it don't matter if you've been doing nails and so from the time you're in school, and you're just good at it, you never went and really do a course in it, or you don't have a certificate for a course in it, but you're real good. You might be the best on the island, but you just never do a course. You learn it on your own. You have to go and do the course now, and you have to get a certification and that kind of thing. That is what they put in place. Now, they're using a concept called broadening the tax base. By broadening the tax base, you bring all these categories of people. So if the plumbers ain't feel they come in for them. Now, electricians are already technically into it because you have to do the wireman's exam and get your different things. If the plumbers and all the other people in feel that they're coming for them, that they would not be able to operate in the state of Grenada without first of all going and do the same thing you hear happening with the barbers and them there. Don't say you're going in people's house so you need a medical certificate. I need a police certificate of character because next thing you go to do plumbing in a person's place and use a thief. So they are going to be going down that road because they're broadening the tax base. They're trying to bring more and more people into paying taxes. So even those are you public workers that still ain't get your salary yet. No, all ain't get. Sorry for all you. Too bad. Yeah. People that say, oh, sorry for them, they vote for that. No, I don't believe all you vote for that. All you vote for what all you thought was better. All you learning different now. All right? So I'm sorry for all you. But don't think that sooner or later they're not going to reduce the level that you're paying income tax at, In other words, as it is right now, you have to be earning, I think it's over $2,500 to pay personal income tax. Don't be surprised that just now they bring it down that everybody had to pay personal income tax, or everybody earning over $1,000 had to pay personal income tax, Don't be surprised that you hear that. Don't be surprised that you hear some Imanis crying on Monday too. Don't be surprised. Yeah, you might be hearing something like that. That's what I pick up. I haven't confirmed that one. I'm putting that one out as unconfirmed because I just pick up that by the way. But the other stuff I tell all tonight, like what going on in Lotto and all kind of thing, take me to court and see if I can prove what I say. My jail closed so and my court closed press. Take me to court. Say that I lie. Yeah? Folks, we quickly running out of time tonight, but as I said, we're going to deal more in depth because I want to go piece by piece carefully. And even if I could get somebody else on with me to help discuss this one, would be even better. We're going to go piece by piece on the Health Practitioners Act, the Allied Professions, Beauty and Wellness Industry, Code of Professional Conduct and Fitness to Practice rules. Yeah? You have to respect the privacy of clients. So, hey, fellas in the barber shop, you can't talk man business again in the barber shop. No, they could take your license for that and you can't cut here again. Ladies in the hairdressing place, yeah, you have to mind your business. You can't talk about when the girl come and she do she here and she talk she thing and she go, you go and you're talking about her when she go. No, you have to respect the privacy of clients or they're taking your license and thing. Yeah. Respect and maintain the confidentiality of clients' information. You have to specify the parameters in relation to that because if law enforcement asks for certain things. Seek to redress any issues that may arise between himself or herself and the clients and that kind of thing. So if somebody come and after you do here, they want to pay and a confusion start up, you go say, well, you ain't resolved, you'll take the person license. Yeah, that was saying is a sort of madness that they put in place here. And you all even know that it put in place. But they have put this in place and you have to find the money and make sure that you pay and you pay on time. You have to pay on time and other than that you're getting late fee and all kind of thing. Folks, I don't know if it's a firearm these people are applying for. They have to go with all this kind of health thing and this and that. And okay. Anyway, folks, that's all the time we have for talking points tonight. But don't leave just yet. I want to run 2 videos. After you're done hear my voice, going to run 2 videos on the live. That's talking points for this week. It's been wonderful being here with you. My name is Sheldon Scott. It's been absolutely wonderful being here with you this week and interacting with you this week. It's been a very interesting week. And believe me, I really feel it for some of the people out there under the SEED program and what they're going through. Any of you want to help? Contact me. Message me. Message me more on the Talking Points Facebook page because the WhatsApp number is only when I'm in studio I have access to it. So WhatsApp me, message me, whatever you have to do, get my number. You could call the New National Party main office. They know how to find me. Call them and they know how to find me. They'll give you my number, everything. All right? So that we could help as many people as we can help. Yeah. We ain't coming on this program and tell people that's how we want money to go and buy alcohol. No. We want to help people. I ain't want nothing even come to me. Let it come to somebody else. And we're going to help as much people as we can. Folks, in everything you say and do it safe and secure. Want to be speaking to and with you and not about you. Love each and every one of you unconditionally. And we will be back on Monday night, God's willing, from 8 p.m. No, it's no Friday night program. I know Duncan and them keep asking me. No. Back on Monday night from 8 p.m., God's willing, with more talking points. I am out of here. Love you all. And wait, I'll play it one more time before I go. Let me play it one more time before I go, man. Yeah. Let me play it one more time before I go. Yeah.
Here's the excuse that will be made. The excuse that will be made is, it's a lot of money. Well, Grenadians deserve a lot of money.
So, as a projection, we agreed that we will continue with the 150, and I made that pronouncement in the Senate. However, this was not possible because the savings that we would have realized from the recertification will not be able.
Stay up to date with all that's happening with the new National Party, NNP. Send us a message via text or WhatsApp on 405-8683 with your name, email, and constituency. Stay in the know with NNP. Get updated.
Why are contracts being channeled through the parliamentary office? We're seeing a flyer circulating on Facebook calling for trying to contract the services needed, I think, for the Willis basketball courts. It says it's contracting the services needed for the Willis basketball courts. You can contact the telephone number for more information. Circulating on Facebook.
Well, I think you see the perplexed look on each of our faces. I am not aware of that. I suspect none of my colleagues here are aware of that. So I think you may have to give us greater context for us to understand. As far as I'm aware, there is no procuring of contract services through parliamentary offices. There are employees who work in the parliamentary office on behalf of the parliamentarian. They don't have any resources to procure any services. Any procurement is done by the ministries. I can certainly say in the case of St. David's, what I do is if there are services that a ministry needs and if vacancies are being announced, etc., we certainly get the notices. We let our constituents be aware of it. We post it on our pages. We put physical notices on our notice boards. We certainly encourage our constituents to apply. But these applications are targeted to the particular ministry or the particular procurement agency. So I'm not aware genuinely of any case where parliamentary offices are procuring any services. They don't have a budget to do so. And therefore, unless you said it's on Facebook. So
yes, I have it. I have it here.
But being on Facebook doesn't mean it's accurate. I was hesitant to say so. I thought I was self-evident by now. But so I'm not aware of it. The MP for St. George North East is not here, but I certainly will inquire of him, and if some response or explanation needs to be provided, I'll ask him to communicate with you.
Thank you.
My government has decided to continue the vertical
Stay up to date with all that's happening with the new National Party, NNP. Send us a message via text or WhatsApp on 405-8683 with your name, email, and constituency. Stay in the know with NNP. Get updated.
That's the way it is. We've